Making Movies is a band based out of Kansas City, Missouri that mixes rock with tropical Latin music.
So Diego and I are brothers. We were born in Panama, and we grew up in Kansas City, of all places in the world. So our music is all messed up. It sometimes comes out in English and sometimes comes out in Spanish, and the rhythms are from that part of the world, but they're also mixed in with Juan Carlos's, Mexican heritage. And so this is a Panamanian guitar that only exists there, but we're going to be playing a Mexicano rhythm with it and a zapateado.
Their sophomore album, I Am Another You, features a fusion of electric guitar, mambo rhythms, and operatic vocals. The album reached the ears of iconic Panamanian musician Ruben Blades, and this led to Ruben Blades giving them a shout-out at the 2017 Latin Grammy.
Ahora mismo acaban de ver un grupo que se llama Making Movies. Dos son de Panamá, uno de México y el otro es cubano.
They recently collaborated with Ruben Blades to put out a song called No Te Calles.
Ay, no te calles.
Latino music has not been written into that thread. You don't really go to an Americana festival and find this stories that we've been telling, this Latin influence in American music. That part is omitted to this day. And so I felt like we are trying to musically remind people of the history that they may already know and have forgotten, or maybe they were just never showed.
Listening to the station between the stations.
Sabe dónde un país comienza y dónde termina. Por eso esta canción va dedicada a todos ustedes y todos los que hoy sufren y han sufrido por las fronteras que hemos creado en este mundo. Decidida de blanco y conformidad. Muchas gracias. Nosotros somos Making Movies. Es un honor estar aquí. Cuando uno piensa, pone a pensar en las cosas que están pasando en la frontera entre México y los Estados Unidos, uno a veces comienza a pensar que tal vez este mundo es una locura colectiva. Todos unidos bailan la locura colectiva. Esa locura colectiva. Señor, por favor, ven aquí, déjame hacerle una pregunta, ven. Oye, viejo, cuéntame de tu vida, yo sé lo que tú merecías, llegaste como tuyo al fin de tu día, una más te tiro como un dao a la locura colectiva. La locura colectiva. Oye Dios, ¿qué sientes ahí arriba? Imagino que te encanta la vista. Ver al ser humano como hormigas, no sé si oíste. la última noticia que en realidad digo tú eres una. Oye tú eres una. Tú eres una mentira. Causa de esa locura colectiva, todos en cielo. Recé, amén, que nada cambie. Recé, amén, que nada cambie. Hay cosas que tienen que cambiar. Si no tenemos la justicia, ya basta de rezar y rezar, sin despertarnos y luchar por la verdad. Aquí en el Auditorio Nacional, aunque antes de este sol el paso quiero recordar la palabra que dice siembra para cosechar.
Hello. We are making movies. Thank you all for tuning in. It's an honor to be a part of Arts Across America. For those that maybe didn't understand the lyrics of that last song, it's a song called Locura Colectiva, and it's a song that speaks to the human desire to resist change sometimes, and it feels like a poignant day to hear that song as we are in the United States are working hard to make the changes that we desire in this country, and that starts with voting. So today is an important day. We feel honored to be making music for the Kennedy Center on such an important day. My name's Enrique Chi. I was born in Santiago, Panama, and by the rivers of migration that brought so many of us to the United States, My family moved when I was a kid to Kansas City, Missouri.
And I'm Diego Chi, Enrique's brother. Being Kansas Cityan and from the Caribbean reflects a part of our identity, but not all of it, because like the U.S., Panama is a melting pot.
And I am Duncan Burnett, and I was blessed to join this great movement by the way of the land of Dorothy in a city called Olathe, Kansas.
And I'm Juan Carlos Chauran, a very proud Mexican American who also grew up here in the middle of the U.S. in Kansas City, Missouri. And I'm just honored to be here with my brothers during this Kennedy Center's Arts Across America.
Definitely. It's definitely an honor to be here. We prepared some content for you all. I'm going to play some music later on. But we want to start off by showing a couple of clips from our last major show. We played at the Auditorio Nacional at the end of last year, long before any of us dreamed of a lockdown. And that was a really monumental experience for us to play in Mexico City at what is effectively like their Kennedy Center. It's their most prestigious stage. And now we're going to take you to the United States, to Memphis. Part of why you're watching this and you say Americana Roadshow, you see Americanas misspelled with a K, is because we've created a series called Americana TV. And the premise of this series is to create a living documentary that exposes some truths about the American music story that maybe you haven't seen before. And if you have, maybe it's good to be reminded. And if you have and remember, it's just amazing music. These people are incredibly talented and deserve to have a spotlight put on them. Of those people are the sensational Barnes brothers. They come from a beautiful lineage of Memphis music. We'll talk about that more later. But when we were in Memphis, Tennessee, we had the opportunity to record a live acoustic version of Tired of Giving In. It's a making movie song from our album Americana. And the acoustic and studio version is really beautiful and really special as you hear their soul voices atop of this Afro-Cuban swinging rock and roll song, for lack of a better word, but we just call that music. So that's the beauty of it, and I hope you all enjoy this acoustic rendition of Tired of Giving In.
This is gonna
I agree.
Man.
Yes,
Come on! Let's go, Chris, baby!
That's what I'm saying. The note just didn't come out, so I just got out of it. Come here, babe, my little American dream, and sing something sweet to me. Yeah, sing something sweet. La da da da. Oh wait, you only lived on movie screens. You were my own little queen, but they killed you in the final scene. I've been lied to time and time again. Yeah, I'm tired of giving in. So tired, so tired. And would you let me begin? So tired, just so tired. I sold my soul to an oil machine. I guess I like making shitty things. I guess I like making shitty things. From what I see, is there no one clean? We all ate from the forbidden tree. Was sweet, wouldn't you agree? Now I'm used up like an old syringe. Pull it out, I'm tired of giving in. So tired, so tired. Look at the state I'm in. So tired, just so tired. Let me out.
sold my soul down in New Orleans. I guess I just ran out of steam. The lights are out and the lines are dead. We're waiting as the flood recedes. I don't even know what I need. Would we know if it's the end? I've been lied to time and time again. I'm tired. Yes, I'm tired of giving in. So tired, so tired. How do I get to the end? So tired, so tired. Why am I here again? So tired, so tired. So tired of giving in. So tired, so tired. Let me out. Let me out. Let me
Wow, wow, wow. What you just seen is making movies and the sensational, aren't they truly sensational? That just made me feel away. The sensational Barnes brothers. But I have to tell you, this is the fact of the day is those two Barnes brothers are only here because they have a beautiful mother, Deborah Barnes. And she is a talented singer and was actually one of the first background singers ever in America. And she sang with the Raelettes with the Ray Charles, and we had the great, well, not me, but Enrique G had the wonderful opportunity to interview her on our new television series show.
Yeah, that's part of the Americana TV is looking into these stories of American music, and Ray Charles historically was not a big fan of Elvis, as he felt that people Elvis took black music and didn't give it its proper credit, and so we were talking to these artists who definitely have had such an impact on what we call American music, and within that impact, we're looking into how the color of their skin and the social and cultural environment that they came from, how it affected the music, and how it proved to be the fertile ground for incredible music in spite of all those challenges. It really has been an amazing experience. We did one broadcast of it, but on November 24th, we're going to be doing a live broadcast where we're going to reflect on some of the pieces in the episode and show some of these things, and also show some of the content that was created by the youth that work through Art as Mentorship, not-for-profit that does music education work. That is also part of all this journey, is to not only talk to those who came before us, like Deborah Barnes, and say, hey, what was it actually like to be in that era where you're singing protest music at a Martin Luther King rally? Tell us what you felt, what that was like, and simultaneously passing that down for young artists who are teenagers today, because the arts across America of a decade from now are going to be those kids and the music that they create, and they need to create that music with an understanding of where we come from. And I can't help but touch on, and that's so important on a day like today, for all of us to really understand where we come from and not be misinformed, and not let history be rewritten in a fictitious way just to benefit a few people. We have to know the truth about where all this comes from, and that's what this story, which we started in Memphis, was all about.
And I think, like you said, Enrique, these points are made throughout the Americana TV. We have, guests like Terrence Simeon, who's a legend and known for his Zydeco music. We have Reverend Charles Hodges, who you would probably know as he's on all Al Green's hits, plays the organ, and Cedric Burnside, who comes from a lineage of hill country blues. And so you hear these stories from these people firsthand on our Americana TV. And it's such a beautiful cultural exchange between us as Latinos, as Panameños and Mexicanos, to know where this music comes from, because it's a long history that has been lost in translation in some places, and now it's time for us to be able to bring that back and to the forefront of these platforms that we get to use right now, just like arts across America. And so I want to take a quick second just to thank the Kennedy Center for letting us be able to do this.
I agree, and you can find out more information at Americana with a K.TV, Americana.tv. But November 24th, there'll be a live stream. If you follow Making Movies through any socials, we will definitely be talking about this. It's our chance to build a portal, a platform to speak on these issues. I mean, we have a mission to we feel like as an American band, which I'm looking at the hemisphere, the Americas, North, South, Central America. We get the opportunity to grab the rhythms that were passed down to us, and these are rhythms that were designed and built for healing. They've been used culturally like that, and use that healing power to play music that helps us all remember how interconnected our stories truly are on this great hemisphere. And I think that's the mission of what Making Movies does, and Americana is just an extension. Americana TV is just an extension of that mission. And I think that this work was born out of an album that we got a chance to make in 2019, named Americana, because we had felt that resistance ourselves. We had felt, as a band in the United States, if we sang in Spanish, doors would close to us. People would tell us we won't do that kind of music in this venue. I mean, we faced that so many times over the course of the first 9 years of our career that we named our album Americana, but the way you would pronounce it in Spanish, Americana, to remind folks, the American music story has Latinos in it from the beginning. And there's so many examples of this.
Yeah, and this, just piggybacking off of what you're saying, Enrique, I don't know that when we set out to make that record, it actually was something that became a compilation of so many other collaborations we had already started. We were working with our good friends in Las Cafeteras, who is a group that is they're an American band based in LA that was blending Mexican traditional music. We had a collaboration with Frankie Negron, who's a Puerto Rican, a Nuyorican, basically, kind of had made his salsa sound in New York and was collaborating with us to do a version of Patria, which is a Ruben Blades song. And then Ruben Blades ended up reaching out to us during that time as we were recording all those songs. He himself had discovered our last album and wanted to collaborate. And that's actually what birthed the whole Americana project. Was like, wow, we actually have such a wide range of collaborators who made their names, made their music in the United States, but containing their identity. And somehow we found ourselves at the center of that.
And I think that's what was beautiful about making that record, is having Ruben's guidance. They nickname him El Maestro, and I think it's so true. He's such a teacher naturally, as he just enters a room and he's dropping incredible knowledge, and he chose to give us some of that knowledge. And in those gifts, he passed us a song that I'm going to play for you all now. And this is a tune that he wrote in 1986 or 7. Do you remember what he said? 86 or 7, something like that, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, he wrote it.
He said it's lost to. Well, I'm gonna just throw this out there, because if there's anyone from Elektra Records watching, he said that there's an original demo tape somewhere that is lost to Elektra. So if you're watching and you could find it, please look up Delilah. But Enrique, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, all good. But he wrote the song with Lou Reed. Lou Reed was co-producing an album called Nothing But the Truth, which, boy, do we need more truth today. And they were working on this song called Delilah that just got lost in the ether, as he said. And he rediscovered the song. He passed us a demo of it, and we put a version of it as a duet with Ruben on our album Americana. But I'm going to do a little acoustic version for you all here, and hope you all enjoy it. This song is called Delilah.
made a run to her side for the promises of pleasure, like a kid on a ride. Yeah, well, I completely forgot home. A coyote led the way through the desert's burning sun. Still remember how it felt, yeah, to be reborn when I was branded for the love of Delilah. Well, I was beaten, fingerprinted for the love of Delilah. I was sworn in for the love of Delilah. Well, I was beaten, then deported for the love of Delilah. Met Delilah long ago. She seduced me with her song, and I swore I'd never rest, yeah, till I won her love. When the migra chopper came, my song turned to a scream. Wheel of Fortune ran me down, yeah, well, I wasn't wishing for this thing when I was branded for the love of Delilah. Well, I was beaten, fingerprinted for the love of Delilah. I was sworn in for the love of Delilah. Well, I was beaten, fingerprinted, deported for the love of Delilah. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for tuning in. My name is Enrique. I'm the lead singer of Making Movies, and it's nice to be virtually with you all playing music. If you all have any questions for us, we're going to be back, all four of us together here after this music. Feel free to drop in a question into the chat. Say hello. I saw Pete Munoz saying what's up. Appreciate the comment. Raquel, thank you all so much for tuning in. For those that know Making Movies, we are recording new music, and we're really excited about it. And in this time when there's no concerts and there's not really ways for us to go out and make a living in the traditional sense, we have been inventing and exploring new ideas, and one of those is Patreon. You can join us at Making Movies at Patreon to support the work, support the making of our new album, and the Americana TV project. So we appreciate it. I know that that they're putting a ticker here for donations and tips. We're grateful for everyone that supported us and supporting us through this time. Thank you all so much. This song is a brand new song. I've never played it by myself, acoustic like this, so I'm a little bit nervous, but it's a beautiful song called Calor that will be on our next album. It's a little love song for you all, a little break from all the heaviness of today. Here we go. Nunca presentí lo que cambiaría en mí. 10 años sobreviví sin ahogarme nada. Tragos, temor, un desengaño, andar cabizbajo y perdido. En el solar de los enojados, la noche que te vi, no
No sé ni cómo me atreví a apostar mi fe en ti. Y tú, como una flor besada por el rocío del alba, esa madrugada me embriagué en el vapor. Cuánto esperé para entender lo que es amor. Cómo vivir en ese sueño, arropado de recuerdos, bautizado en sentimiento, resguardado del dolor. Nunca presenté lo que cambiaría en mí. 10 años sobreviví en el parque de los olvidados. Vimos niños jugando la guerra de mentira, apuntándose con los dedos. Te tomé de la mano, cruzamos esos disparos riendo. Mira todo lo que superamos, cuánto esperé para entender lo que es amor. Cómo vivir en ese sueño, alimentado por su cuerpo, bautizado en sentimiento y resguardado del dolor. Quiero vivir en ese sueño, alimentado por su cuerpo, bautizado en sentimiento, resguardado. Cómo morir en ese sueño, arropado de recuerdos, bautizado en sentimiento y resguardado del dolor. Rodeado de calor, rodeado de calor, rodeado de calor. Y hay que vivir con el corazón despierto, desnudo y descubierto, el alma es la fuente del árabe que me alivia del dolor. Abre la presa, moriré resguardado, rodeado de color, resguardado del dolor. Thank you all so much. I love that song. That song's
I
fun.
could be your audience.
Oh, thanks, Juan Carlos. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Much love, man. That song, you know, going back to the whole being in Memphis and Americana TV, you know, there's a part in there that we got to share with the Reverend Charles Hodges. Again, like I said before, he told us that he recorded 20 some golden platinums in a row,
Yeah, 27 in a row
with Al Green, and we have him tracked with us, and it was such an honor to be just in his presence and to have him with us. And so again, being in Memphis was something magical. Just being able to learn from these artists who have been in the forefronts of American music.
I think
And
what's cool about it with Reverend, you know, he had that nickname "Do Funny" because he played
Right.
the organ like a percussion instrument. He's like he's so percussive.
Right.
And most people when they have to play to the clave, like the music, the pulse of Latin music is an African rhythm called a clave. And many people, when they play to it, they get lost or they get backwards. But all his syncopations seem to just glue right into that music, and which is just a beautiful reminder of the shared lineage of soul music in Memphis and Afro-Cuban, Afro-Panamanian music, they have a shared ancestry, and that's beautiful to hear and to experience and to see.
Yeah. So I'm excited for for everybody to see what we've been cooking up for Americana TV. And while we were in Memphis, we got to record another song called "Could You?" And Enrique, I'll let you kind of
Yeah,
explain that.
recently I haven't been feeling very inspired to write songs in English. My first language is Spanish, but living in the States, I would write in both languages, whatever would come. Um, but I've been like more drawn to write in Spanish in the last year and a half, except for this song. This song came about a year and a half ago, and I remember I showed it to the band. I showed it to our manager El Maravilloso Bañones in Costa Rica when we were there celebrating Diego's wedding, and we knew we had to do something with the song. And this time where we were in lockdown, Juan Carlos and I were able to travel to Memphis, kind of created our own little making movies NBA bubble, and go to Memphis and record some music together. And so, though we miss Duncan and Diego's presence in it, their spirits are in this song, and we hope y'all enjoy it. This is kind of the video premiere, so I guess let's let the Kennedy Center take us to "Could You." Could you dream of a day when all insecurities would end? So no egocentric assholes could run or win the race again. Yeah, all property has been banished, no more poisoning the lands. Well, I don't believe in Jesus says nobody's free if they're in chains. There's some things you can't erase. Could you dream of a day when no one teaches abstain, while leaving sheets stain? Could you dream of a language that anyone could sing and understand? Well, I don't believe in Jesus saves. Nobody's free if they're in chains. There's some things you can't erase. Could you? Could you? Could you? Could you?
Woo! That is a wonderful song, and it's nice to watch it from this angle at times, when you're not involved. It's nice to sit back and just feel the vibes, and that just had me thinking of, man, I am just grateful to have this platform and to be able to be with my brothers in this way and to show the American experience that I feel has not been able to be shown a lot. I grew up in, Olathe, Kansas, where you just don't see many people like me and like my brothers in making movies doing things like this in the community and the culture. And so it has been just a great honor to have a platform at this level. And like, man, I'm so grateful to be here. And like, it's been a wonderful experience.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, Duncan. I feel that too right now. Like, especially having the chance to not only share our music and our identity, our story on here on the Kennedy Center, which is an incredible opportunity, but just be able to share a hopeful message of right now. I mean, I've been thinking about how today obviously is a most important day. It's election day, and it's crazy that historically only like half of the US population participates in elections. This year is already breaking that mold. It's already changing, which is amazing. So if you're watching and you have not yet voted, we want to, of course, encourage you to participate, especially if you are like us, Black, Brown, Latino, Indigenous, or just wherever you are. We encourage you to be a part of our democracy in this great country.
Yeah, like Diego said, being Latino, being Mexicano, we are the single most important factor in this year's election. And I think for those who are new to this country or who have just become citizens, and I've seen friends post on Facebook and social media of them crying and to just have this opportunity. So don't take it for granted. If you have the chance to go do it, if you haven't, please, you still have time to go do that right now, and just vote and be the voice for those who cannot be here with us or who just don't have the chance to, or who are just scared to. I think, vote for those people. Vote for everything that's happening that you disagree with. Me personally, everything that's happening at the border to my people, to the kids that are there in cages. 3 out of 4 of us are fathers, and I couldn't imagine being torn away from my son or our children. It just breaks my heart, and this can no longer stand, and we can no longer be silenced. So please take this time to really reflect on everything that you believe in and everything that you find really deep inside yourself, and choose the right decision. And so I will not go into any more detail about that, but just know that now is the change. We could continue down this road for another 4 years, or we could choose not to.
I completely agree with everything Juan Carlos is saying, and remind you might be hearing and saying, "Oh, I already voted. Thank you for the preach." I appreciate that, but a reminder that tomorrow the fight continues. Right? There's still families separated at the border. There's still injustice. The American experience is not the same for an immigrant person. It's not the same for a person of color as it is for the ruling class of this culture, and we have to be aware of that. And it's not to be negative about it. It's actually we are been granted a position of power just by being in this country. And if you look globally, if you have the chance to travel around the world, you realize we have that. It's a privilege. We have to participate. And I know a lot of folks feel like, I don't feel like it. Politics are not for me. No, don't worry. Me either. Politics are not for me. But you know what is for me is creating a society that is more fair and more just. And making movies, we'll do our part. We know how to play music, and so we invest time not only in our own music, but in passing down some of the lessons we've learned to a younger generation through the programs at Artist Mentorship. So that's one simple way to kind of get plugged into the work that we're doing. We're doing tons of that stuff in spite of the pandemic, because you can do a lot of educational work virtually. So that's great. So I wanted to let you all know that, and to let you know that you can follow us on our journey if you believe in what we're doing, if you believe in this music, and if you believe in the message and the platform and the things that we stand for. One of the most profound ways to support us is by joining on Patreon. If we can build up a base there, it'll allow us to continue to create art, create music. And so for those who are already there, thank you. For those that have been following for years, thank you. And everybody stay strong, stay healthy, stay informed. And before I introduce this next song is one that we wrote with Ruben. It was Making Movies Music, and Ruben came in and wrote a beautiful poem above it, and then left me the outro to close up the song. And his poetry is around this concept of no te calles. That's the name of the song. So it's don't let yourself be silenced. Don't allow them to silence you, so that we can eliminate the corruption in our leadership. And his poetry breaks you down into the bridge, which is the part that I wrote, because in the poem says this, because the silence can obscure our humanity. And so we need to raise our voices so that we all remember that
we're all part of this human race, and we're all stuck in this mess together, and we got to work hard to do it together. So stay healthy, stay safe. We love you all. Duncan, great to
Yes.
see you. Juan Carlos, nice to see you virtually. Diego,
Yeah. I
miss you,
love you
brother.
guys.
Love you all very much. And
Yeah.
this is from Auditorio Nacional, our performance of No Te Calles. We'll send you all off with this. Hope
Thank you
enjoy.
again, Kennedy Center.
Thank you, Kennedy.
Eating.
No me quiero ir del escenario. Esta es nuestra última canción. Esta canción la escribimos con el maestro Rubén Blades. Él nos dio una poesía y nos inspira a todos a alzar nuestras voces, porque hay un poder inmenso en alzar nuestras voces. Esta canción se llama No te calles. Somos Making Movies. Un abrazo fuerte a todos. Los queremos mucho, México. Buscando la verdad. canción vive con la fe que en cualquier pueblo, cualquier ciudad en este mundo, hay más personas que creen en la justicia que las personas que creen en la injusticia. Así que si todos alzamos nuestras voces, vamos a tener muchas personas en común. Así que en México quiero practicar esto. Quiero practicar un poquito esta noche. Vamos a practicar cantando una nota. Vamos a cantar. Pero todos juntos. Pero vamos a cantar con la intención de qué cambio quieres ver en este mundo. ¿Están listos, México? ¿Podemos cantar juntos? La nota otra vez. Respira profundo, voy a contar a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Era buena práctica. Lo vamos a hacer una vez más. Esta vez quiero que canten quiero que griten la nota, pero con la intención de un cambio que quieren ver en este mundo.